Show
I
up.
already thought of a game for your bachelorette.
Which one?
Pin the X on the trash can. Just a face of all your exes, and then we just pin them on a trash can. Hello, girly pops. Welcome back to another episode of Definitely Delusional. My name is Dean.
And I'm Emily.
So, girl, okay, you were showing me this video earlier, and I just was like, you know me, I'm crazy, and I was looking through the comments, like the one that you showed me, and it was like talking about how like bald guys eat you up better.
I will not confirm nor deny that.
Why?
I'm pleading the fifth.
Okay, no, fine.
I'm just saying.
I will say.
I'm just saying. I have had a very good experience with a guy who has little hair in his head, and my body, I like had an out of body experience because of it.
Yeah, well, I can concur.
Yeah.
But also, you know what kind of pisses me off though? Because I'm like, girl, why can't they also ball down there if they balled up there?
Well,
I wish,
Okay, so
because shit, sometimes I'm like, maybe this is too, rated R, but like sometimes I can't, do the gluck gluck because I break out. It's very shallow.
Oh. Okay. I've never had that issue before. So, okay, Mr. Clean, the Mr. Clean, the bald guy that
Is that where we're sponsored by this week?
Honestly, we might as well. I needed a Mr. Clean to mop that fucking floor up after that man ate me out. Like I needed that. Like the WAP song sponsored by.
If it doesn't sound like mac and cheese, it ain't it, baby. It don't smell like mac.
We went out the gate really hard on this. So
I mean, I'll say we just wanted to talk about types today, but I just wanted to be like raunchy and bring up a topic that I saw.
You want to? Yeah, it was the comment section.
The comment section.
The comment section had him screaming.
That's my thing. This is an upcoming episode. Not episode, but a video that I have. I'm like, literally think about it. Why does your comment section make you laugh more than he does?
It's true. It's true. A lot of men are not funny, but they do think they're funny.
Yeah.
And same goes, I think, for people in general. But I find myself to be very funny, and I appreciate when the men that I surround myself with think I'm funny, and I let them know. I was like, as long as you think I'm funny, I'll keep this going. And as long as you know that I'm funny.
Not with the comedian again, though.
No.
They get so insecure when you're funnier than them.
Oh, I was hilarious. I dog walked that comedian. I dog walked him.
His job security was on the line.
Honestly, I'm surprised I haven't gotten into comedy quite yet with the way that this is going. Maybe this will turn into a...
We should do a live podcast once this, blows up, because I know y'all are sharing this everywhere.
That's right. You guys got to keep doing that so that we can quit our day jobs.
Yeah, literally. I mean, what day job?
It'll get there.
Hopefully, we'll see.
Manifesting you getting your day job.
Literally, like,
2025.
Side note, though, to the girly pops, like, if you have a job right now, I don't know, girl, cry on your lunch break, cry in the fucking bathroom, cry on their dime, not on the weekend, go out on the weekend, cry on their dime, whatever, because the job market is fucking ghetto right now. It is ghetto.
It's really bad. It's really, really bad. I feel bad for all the federal employees that have been laid off. I feel bad for anyone who has experienced any kind of loss.
My girl.
And this past, what seems like shitstorm of a month that is never ending. Like, I feel so bad for so
Not even, well, it's already February, this year already.
Well, it's been a shitstorm of a year. Let's talk about, this actual whole year has been quite terrible.
And it's like barely started. I'm like, fuck, yuck.
I know. Well, hopefully it can only go up from here, because I just don't know how it's going to get any worse. I don't know how it's going to get any worse.
I mean, with the types we have in people, I think that like it might get worse. I'm like stumbling. I'm like on chokehold.
He's choking on his own words.
I'm like
it's
shook.
Not in a good way.
I'm like shook to the bone marrow.
So do you have a type? Do you have a type of person that you like? Or is there a kind of person that you absolutely no? Are you one of those people that
What
is
type of type? Like physical or
yeah,
like
physical? Do you have a physical type that you like? Are you one of those people that's a size queen where you only date people of a certain height? Are you
I mean, I guess sometimes like the height thing can like make a like illusion or like delusion into you where you think they're hot but they're just tall, you know?
yeah.
But it's like the height thing, it's like, you know, it depends. But I think the way I sum it up in like a funny way, you know, it's like my type is like when I see someone, I'm like, oh my God, they're gonna give me trauma and break my heart. I'm like, ooh. But no, don't do that, girl. Don't do that.
They look traumatic. See, I don't have a type. I have dated you look at the people that I have been with or dated, there's not like a cardboard cutout or like, oh, she dates like only this type of person.
Mm-hmm.
I have dated tall guys, I've dated short guys, I've dated guys that have larger frames, I've dated guys that have had smaller frames. I've been with biracial guys. I've been with a lot of white guys, which I'm swearing off of for by and large. My palate has expanded quite a bit, so I'm sorry, but I gotta get the Midwest out of me at some point. Expanding my horizons.
She said,
Yeah.
I'm pink pony clothes.
Yeah.
She said, you know, I gotta go.
I gotta go.
Bye to the Midwest.
Yeehaw, get on out of here. No, I am not somebody who cares about height so much because LA, by and large, it's a short king town. It is a very short town.
I have a hot take on that.
And I'm small. Like I'm a very short girl, and I found that sometimes having guys under 6 foot works with my body type more because we can do more. Our bodies fit a little bit better together.
Yeah.
And I'm not the kind of person, I can tell right away when a guy's lying about his height on a dating app. Like, don't come at me sideways. I know how tall you are.
Yeah.
I can ballpark because
Yeah.
I wear heels a lot, and I can do the reverse math, and I don't really care about it as much.
That's the reverse math.
The reverse math thing. Yeah.
You're like calculating where he is, the location. You're like, I know that exact location and how tall that like building is.
You could say I care about other things more than I care about the size of height. I mean, I care about the size of someone's heart.
Take note, gentlemen.
I care about the size of someone's heart. I care about
Everybody, if they have an enlarged heart, though, isn't that like a danger?
that's a danger.
Girl.
Metaphorically, I like their large, generous heart.
But listen,
Their large, generous, throbbing, strong heart.
but sometimes it's just no. I don't know. Ugh.
What's your theory though on height? Because
On height,
you
my
definitely have
hot
some-
take.
what's your hot take? Or
I actually recently came into light with this, like because of an event I just went to, and they asked me this question about height, and then I had this epiphany. I was like, oh my God, wait, like okay, so yes, like if they're tall, like great, whatever, like and they're a good person, like okay, but if they're tall and their energy is bad and like they're treating you poorly, they have no ambition, it makes them like 5 feet tall, okay? But someone who's like 5'4", but when he stands on his money, when he stands on his ambition, when he stands on all the things he values, it makes him like 6 feet tall. I'm like, okay.
it's true. It is so true. Well, my mom still thinks I'm going to end up with Bruno Mars, and that man is 5'5". My mom asked me, she goes, I just really think you and Bruno would make a good couple. And I was like, I don't think anyone's mother in the history of parenthood has ever said that to their daughter. But I think she assumes that I'm just going to run into him and he's going to be like, she's the one. I think he's married or he's dating a model because when you're Bruno Mars, you can do that. But it's true. That man has so much charisma.
Is Bruno in the room with us? I'm just kidding.
Yeah, or even like Kendrick Lamar. I mean, watching him at the
He
Super
was
Bowl,
bell bottom.
he is 5'7", which I've dated guys on that height end of the spectrum. But when they're confident and they're funny, oh my God, I'm so attracted to that. I don't care how tall they are. Because once again, I'm barely 5 foot. So for me, how can I sit there and be like, I only want to date a guy that's 6'2"? It's like, you know what? I'll climb a mountain every once in a while, but sometimes it's nice just like going with
kind of like the similar like height like thing. It's like the height thing, like I think I've gotten like less important to me once I stopped like just looking at like the physical, because I think like also the issue in the gay community too, it's like there's so much racism too, so I never say I have a type because I'm like there is no, like I have to look at a person and also like feel their energy and vibe out first. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah, I think
what happened?
Oh no, I'm just stabbing you because I was like agreeing with you.
Like, are you? I'm like, I'm not straight.
No, you're not straight. I know. Didn't your mom ask if I was your girlfriend?
No, well, I sent a photo of you and you were like,
I was like, oh, that's your girlfriend. He's like, no, but
Mama, Anyway,
Mama, you done?
Mama. I can't sing. Never mind. I don't know where I was going with that.
The one-way train off the track.
No, it's like So what was I saying?
You're saying how you don't have a type. You don't have a type because in the gay community.
Oh yeah, there's like a lot of like in the past, like there would be like no Asians, whatever, like in like the bios, like specifically. But now people are like less blatant about it. But now they mask it like through like preferences. And so like for me, I have to really physically like experience someone to like really know if like they're my type.
Yeah.
You get what I mean? And so it's like yes, like there are some factors though I think that are like need a must have, and it like can be anyone. It's like I think like from a less physical standpoint, they need to like follow through on their word.
Yeah.
Follow through on their word, because I'm like, bitch, I have no time for games. Like I barely have enough hours in the day to like think. But also it's like you're a decent human being. You don't have to be nice, you have to be kind.
Well, I'm not nice. I'm kind. I explained this to someone I was on a date with recently. I said, I am not nice. I am kind. He's like, what do you mean? It's like, so for women we're often indoctrinated to be nice, to placate men, to be agreeable and submissive and not too loud and not too crazy and not too wild. But for me, yes, I've had some success on some dating apps, but I by and large have found I do better in the wild because, like you said, you're able to see someone's vibe. And I'm very gregarious. I'm very out there. I'm high energy. How can that translate on a dating app when you get 6 pictures or maybe your little vocal prompt of why they should date you, and then you're trying to sell yourself like you're a used car salesman? So how can I accurately project who I am through an app? And and some guys, like, I'm not going to be for everybody. And I know that I am not for everybody. And that's what makes me happy, because if I was for everybody, I'd be exhausted.
No, literally.
Like, what? This is an In-N-Out burger. Like, I'm not for everybody.
That's so true. You're not a drive-through.
I'm not a drive-through. Not a drive-through.
Exactly.
Can't, BK, have it your way. No.
Not all the samples.
Yeah,
But yeah, I feel like also, I think when people like, there are like some things though, I'm like, you need to have dental hygiene too.
Oh yeah, that's important.
Hygiene, you need to like, be hygienic.
Yes, that's important.
Like hygienic, and like you don't have to be a bodybuilder for me. I think you just need to you need to like at least know how to take care of yourself. Bigger frame, smaller frame, I don't care. Just know how to take care of yourself, and I think that's like good, because I think the most important thing and like most attractive thing is like when someone knows their worth, but also it's like knows that their space, but themselves also like keeping themselves kempt, keeping themselves like good and like very put together. Well, I guess put together is like a very controversial type of, it's like it depends what people's definition of that is, right? But I'm like generally it's like as like it's like that's attractive. I think it's like, because like you can't be like a whole mat, like I don't know, it's just like I don't know.
Yeah, I think I get what you're saying. No,
yeah, I'm just like a rambler.
That's okay. That's makes you. So for all the people out there who are interested in Dean,
crickets.
No, don't say crickets. I'm sure there's a lot of people out here who admire you and would love to get to know you better. I feel like my non-negotiables, by and large, it's mainly how you treat other people and the relationships you keep with other people. I think it's a massive red flag. And this kind of goes back to the male loneliness epidemic, which I think is self-inflicted. I'm sorry, it is. When you are somebody who does not have a lot of friends, or you cannot keep friends, that to me is a huge red flag, because then I become your entire world, and I can't have that be everything for everyone.
Well, that's
I just
too much.
Can't do it.
That's too fucking much.
I'm tired. I'm so effing tired. Like, I need to have my place in your life, but I can't be like the center of your universe. Like I can't be on all the time like that. I know we talked about this before, like bad tipping. I hate that. That drives me up a wall. I don't know. I feel like, for me personally, because I am so outgoing, I've kind of waffled a bit, but like, do opposites attract? Like, do I need a guy who's a little more low key that just lets me be me, which I always will be me, let's be honest. But like a guy that's a little bit like more, takes a step back, who's a little bit more calm. Because I've been with other people that are just like absolutely crazy, and before you know it, it's like we're on a bender and we're absolutely insane, and we're going out, and then by the end I'm like, I'm so tired, and then I'm also dating a high energy person. I'm like, I just want to take a nap, but it's like, all right, cool, next event, let's go.
But here's the thing. I have like a little caveat on that. I think like, so I'll like come back to this later, but I learned it from How I Met Your Father, the pancake theory. But I'll come back to that theory later. But with, I think it ties in, I'll tie it in a bow later.
Okay.
But for now, I think when you date someone who is too similar to you, it's not even about like your energy being drained, but it's like someone, like I heard this from like a relationship coach somewhere like online, like where they were like, if you date someone with similar interests as you, similar, everything similar, you're gonna end up breaking up or getting like a divorce after you get married, because if they're too similar to you, you're either dating yourself or they can't introduce you to new experiences, and that's what brings excitement into relationships. And that's why you always like, you could have some similarities, but you also have people like who have other interests in, like, let's say I'm interested in like beach volleyball, and then like someone else is interested in like tennis, whatever. This is like a very like low key example, but it's like, oh, they could like teach me tennis and I could teach them volleyball, or like we can go to each other's, and it's like not all, you're not always doing the same things all the time together, you know, and like you have your own, like you build out your own life. So it's like you also like get curious about the other person's things, like, oh, they like museums so much, I wonder why I hate them. You know, like I'll like experience it once, you know, it's like, I think people write that off as like, oh, I don't want to because they're so different. But it's like, maybe that's something like you could learn something about yourself too. And like, that's what keeps it interesting and keeps it going. And like, but
Yeah,
not the deal breaker stuff though.
Yeah, I think it's important to have hobbies outside of your relationship. That's key. You have to have something outside of your relationship that you do for yourself. And I think that is just yours.
Yeah.
And then if you want to share it, you can. But, you know, having a bit of space, whether that's creatively, intellectually, that you need to claim something for yourself. And that's what you do outside of the relationship. I think that's really important. No, I have to agree with that.
Yeah, I think there's like some things.
Yeah.
Like that you can be like same on, but I think there's a like, I'm talking, yeah, more so about that there should be opposite things like on some parts of the relationship, because I think like opposites do attract to an extent.
Yes.
But I think you need to have you need to be on the same page for some of it.
Yeah. I think for me, what's really important is I love going out, and I love going to music festivals, and I love music in general. And what's important for me is having somebody else who I can share that with. Whether, not all the time. I don't want to be going to shows every single weekend. I want to have some variability, but it is important for me as someone who does like to do this that I can share this experience with someone I care about. And it's an added bonus if we like the same stuff or like a similar artist, or we can share those experiences. That for me is such a huge green light, and being like, okay, like this is someone that I'm going to take to a show, and they're going to be smiling, and they're going to be bopping along, and I'm going to dance with them, and they're going to have that moment with me. That is very key for me.
Or, I mean, well, I think they kind of talked about this in like the video I was watching, because it kind of like sounds familiar, but I think it's like, even if, right, like, let's say you find someone who like is into like that like nightlife type of thing, like kind of EDM-y, like,
Yeah,
you know, but like maybe just someone who maybe it's not the same exact artist that you like, so you can introduce each other to each other's artists.
Yeah,
that's
absolutely.
What makes it so like, oh, but it's like kind of the same in the same realm, but like you have like that opposite part of the similarity.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I like that. It's a spectrum of it. You know, I do find just my personal, you know, I'm a girly who's out and about. I love.
I've been too out and about lately.
I
need to like
break on that. But I've been somebody ever since I didn't even think I was going clubbing when I was 18, but the clubs that would let me in, or I honestly had a fake ID. Sorry.
Don't arrest us.
My parents know I had a fake ID. Like, let's be honest. I've had one for a very long time when I was underage. But I'd been going to clubs, and, you know, I'd been going to Vegas. And, you know, my first club ever, actually, was when I was 18 years old. I went to Avalon, which is still a club here in LA. And I heard about reservoirs that were oh my God. It's funny thinking of me like
Tiger Heat used to be there.
Oh,
or are they still there?
No, they're not. I don't think they're still.
Oh, really? Yeah,
but I think about, you know, me going to this club, which I think is actually a 19-up club, but I was still underage when I went. And I had a moment like a while ago, and I was like, 18-year-old me would be so proud of 31-year-old me. But for my personal life, like I am someone who does like to go to the nightclub. I do like to go out. I do like to go clubbing. I like the music. I like the music scene in Europe. Like having somebody to share that with is absolutely monumental.
I love it in doses. I love it. Like, see, the EDM stuff, like I could do sometimes, but it's just not really my vibe of music.
Yeah.
Like in that, like I can't be in like, I have claustrophobia, you know, sometimes I really just can't be in that all the time. Do you get what I mean?
It does get a little suffocating. I mean, there's a lot of people. It does get chaotic. So I understand.
Yeah.
Sometimes,
but I'll go it once in a while.
Yeah.
But That's like crazy though, honestly. Like, I'm just happy that everyone has like different things they're looking for, like in people, because I'm like, that means that there is someone for everyone. Do you get what I
Absolutely.
mean? Because like there are people that I'm like, there's no way that I would like imagine y'all would be like together, but there's always someone for someone,
Yeah.
which gives me a little bit of hope. And like maybe I'm just jamming the wrong puzzle piece into like, that's kind of actually a good way to think about it.
You put a square peg in a round hole. You've been pegging the wrong holes, babe.
Girly pop, let's not.
This does not fit. Like, I'm gonna make it fit though. We're gonna make it fit though.
It's like you're like taking all these like, again, Bob the Builder. It's like you're just trying to shave down the furniture like to make it fit or some shit, like the circle.
Yeah, and I'm same goes for, men too, and women, trying to mold this partner to be who you want them to be versus who they really are. I don't think that's
It's
gonna
not your
work.
job, yeah.
Yeah, and I've gotten very good at establishing boundaries and being somebody who can be assertive and say, I really don't want to go to this event versus me like trudging through it and then I'm having a bad attitude and then it's like,
Me too.
why are you such a joy kill? And it's, I don't know.
That's why I tell you every time. It's like, if you don't want to go to an event with me, like, just tell me. Because I always invite her because I'm like, I want you to be there with me. But like, if you don't want to go, girl, I never force you.
No, I've
like,
never once been forced into any event with you. And I think, and I know that you would respect that boundary if I was like, Dean, I cannot.
I would have been like, yeah, of course not.
You're like, I don't want to go either. Like,
yeah, right. I'll be like, oh, girl, bye.
oh, and I'm a very extroverted person.
Yeah.
So I always kind of had this thought of, do I need, not do I want, do I need someone who's more introverted? Would that be good for me? And a part of me thinks maybe yes.
Maybe.
Maybe a part of me thinks maybe yes. Because I think about it,
But then would you try to make them extroverted?
No. I think I would, if I am to be in a relationship again, I would, the whole Dolly Parton thing, how she is just this mega star and she's been married for so long to the same man. They don't have any kids, but I mean, she is Dolly Parton and he is Mr. Dolly Parton. We don't really
Really good.
But I do enjoy a man who's private. I will say that. I feel like that is really amazing when you have somebody who may or may not have social media. If they do, they use it sparingly. I can't really find them. They're not really out and about because I feel like out of the relationship, I'm probably a bit more of the showboat in terms of sharing things on social media. It's like, that's for the girls. That's for the girls to do. Well, I don't want to know what these men are doing unless we're doing something awesome. Like, that's for the girly pops. That's for us.
Exactly.
Like the show. Boys don't get to share on social media. Only girls do.
I mean, well, it depends. Like we talked about this last time. It's like, if he's building a feed, no, girl. Should be building you anything, a canoe. Again, and like I said in a other episode.
Yeah, that was I think, our episode. That was our second episode, our Valentine's Day episode. Yeah.
I think though, like, here's the thing. I think all of us, like, when you like do get a really bad heartbreak, right? This is where I'm gonna tie the bow from what I said earlier. It's like when you do get your heart broken though, from like maybe like someone you thought was your type, right? And then like you broke up with them or like you ended something with them, your next partner, they will always be the first burnt pancake. Because the first pancake is always burned. And here, listen. I saw it from the How I Met Your Father, like on, I think Hulu, whatever. Like it was like just a snippet of like the episode, and I was like, I had an epiphany because I was like, oh my god, it is so fucking true. Because like every pancake after that is like good, fluffy, whatever. Because like, but it's always the first one that you put on the pan that gets burnt because it's like, I think one of those things where it's like directly when you're like starting fresh again, it's like you got to relight and you got to all of that. Like when you make pancakes, that whole step. It's like when you're freshly out, you're like trying to look for something that felt familiar or like you think it's going to be, and then it ends up like, fuck. And then that's not going to be the person you end up with. Like, so basically the theory is like the person you get with right after a breakup, and it's not all cases,
Your rebound.
Your rebound
or the first crack at it is not. And that's, so yeah, statistically speaking, probably it will be the first.
But I love the burnt pancake analogy because it just like makes me like visualize it. And I'm like, oh.
Well, it took me not a really long time. I mean, it took me 11 months to a year for me to think, okay, maybe I could entertain the thought of potentially something. And even then, going into, if I am to be in a relationship again, it would take a while to just ease back into it. Because I've enjoyed this part of my life uncoupled. I'm thriving. I'm probably debatably in the best state I've ever been in. And I know there's a trope of if you have to say you're in a good place, you're not in a good place. I can genuinely say I'm not projecting anything out.
Mhm.
I'm stating from my soul and my heart. I'm in a really great place mentally. I'm in a great place, or physically. I'm in a great place. Like all my chakras are aligned. Let's just say that.
My
And
chakras are a girl.
what's
I don't
really
know.
okay? So I have
That shit is visual, so fucking misaligned.
I have such a funny story. It just reminded me of this.
Which one?
At our gym, there was a holiday thing a couple of years ago. They do like a holiday market. And there was this woman who was an energy reader. And she looked at your palms. She did her her pendulum. She read your chakras. And towards the end, she was looking at my palm and like reading me. And she's like, you have really good alignment in your chakras, except for your sacral chakra, which your sacral chakra is your sixth, and that's your like androgynous zone, and that's supposed to be like sex and creativity. And she at the end she's like, that'll be $22. So essentially I paid this energy worker $22 to tell me I need to get laid more. And our friend Jeff was like, oh honey, I could have told you that for free.
Oh yeah, right. Oh my god, I loved that.
So our friend Jeff was like, babe, like, take my free advice. You do need to get me.
Listen, I fear that. Yeah, I mean, when the desert is dry, girl, just gotta water it a little bit, because how can the chakra grow if shit is dry?
Yeah, no, and it's true. Like at that time, I feel like if you believe in energy flowing, I had a very blocked sacral chakra for a very long time for many reasons, some of which we can delve into later, when the time is right, whether that's trauma, whether that's
is it just sex, or is it also love?
I think it'd be a little bit of both.
Oh, because I think mine is like,
yeah, I think,
but I mean, I'm having
you're having hookups, you're having things, but not the love that you're
maybe I am this guy, I'm not gonna say his name, but I think I'm this guy's pancake, like first pancake. Because I think that, like, yeah, I don't know.
Well, it's his fault for burning it. It's not okay. So it's twofold. It's not that the burnt pancake is inherently a wrong pancake. It could be that the person making it is absolutely torching a good thing that could have been.
Because they don't know how hot it's supposed to be.
Yeah, whether that's neglect, whether that's leaving on the stove for too long, whether that's walking away from the stove, whether that's not following the directions, whether that's being lackadaisical. It doesn't necessarily mean that you're a burnt pancake in the sense that you're like not inherently desirable. It's the fact that the person that's flipping the pancake,
I think that was their you would say it better than me, because
okay, good.
I guess because it's like, because after that it's like you learn what temperature you need to put it at, what won't burn it, how long it was after the first one's discarded, and so it's like I am this person's first burnt pancake, I think.
Yeah, well, hopefully it's a pancake. Well, hopefully you're not the burnt pancake, but hopefully if you are the burnt pancake, you're the pancake that
I've been the
should have
pancake for, I feel like, a lot of people, which is so fucked up.
Well, that's a lot of people just going through life, I think, wanting either.
Oh no, I'm being a victim right
okay, don't you have a small violin? We can.
Not with me right now. Not with me right now, but girl, I'm playing the victim right now. I'm playing the victim. It's not that serious.
Okay, reclaim your power. You're not the burnt pancake. You know what? You had a good time. Hopefully,
you wish I was the batter. But...
yeah. You know what? You got flipped and you got flopped on that griddle. You got flipped like a pancake on the griddle. Hopefully.
And now I'm in love.
And now you're. And hopefully you had a good time, and your experience getting flipped was a good one physically. Maybe not emotionally, but physically you got flipped.
But still, I feel like the emotionally is so important. Oh my god.
Well, yeah, that's the thing. I
think I'm just like it's happened to me before, so I know I can get through it. Do you get what I mean? Like, I'll get through it. Like, it'll be fine.
It's a common experience. I feel like everybody, assuming that you haven't been with your partner monogamously your whole life, or you haven't been with the same partner since you were in high school, you probably have been in that situation before. And it doesn't feel good feeling like you're the burnt pancake. Nobody wants to feel that way.
Also, it's like...
It's shitty.
That's true. And I think that sometimes it's like... Have you ever had this happen to you? Where it's like when you find your type, I feel like it's harder to leave because they're so your type and you just want them to be like your person.
Well, yeah. I don't have a type though.
Well, I mean,
really
I guess
don't.
And I guess like when all the things I said from earlier like align, like you find everything, it's like it checks like all the, I'm like, oh my god, like this
So,
would be like overallly, is that averagely my type? Like,
yeah.
like, and I think it's just hard to let that go because it's hard to find.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know though. I could see that being true. I think it's harder for me to say. Well, it's your comfort zone. It's what you're comfortable with, whether that's dating. I know people that date serially men of a certain background, like a certain race or a certain ethnicity or a certain religion. They only date people within this little, you know, block of people. And it's like,
Yeah.
that reminds me of your ex. That reminds me of your ex. Like, you clearly go after a certain type of person. So all I can say is if I'm a man's type, you certainly like a wild ride. You certainly like a woman who is absolutely crazy in the best way possible. Like you like a wild horse that you might get bucked off of.
But I think that's the thing though. It's like I fear that it's one of those things where it's like, again, dickmatized, but also it's like I'm like, it's like harder for me, I think, to let things like go when I know that there's like more, again, the made up potential that I keep on talking about. It's like it's harder to let it go because I'm like, I fear that like I won't be able to find that again, my attachment issues.
Yeah, that I think it goes back to attachment issues.
Everything goes back to everything. The
Everything.
fucking the types thing, everything.
Yeah. I mean, I'm working to being more secure because I've had every kind of attachment issue, I think, at a certain point in my life. I used to be very anxiously attached.
I'm the really hard one to fix.
We both are.
I'm the anxious, avoidant, disorganized, whichever one. The fearful, avoidant.
Fearful avoidant.
So you have both, which is so hard.
It's a whiplash central. So I used to be very anxiously attached. And with that anxious attachment, I grew to being more avoidant. And I could have sworn to you that I was avoidant. And then I took one, because there's many different tests that you can use to determine your attachment style. And the one that I took was like, no, actually, you're fearful avoidant. You're both, which can be extremely difficult. But I'm working more towards being secure. And I feel like I'm maybe stepping into it because now I'm able to talk myself off that cliff. But yes, I can be extremely avoidant too. Like there are times where I think I like men more who ignore me. I like men. And it's not that I'm like push-pulling with them.
Yeah.
It's that I also can do a standoff where it's like, okay. I guess
Well,
we're not.
yeah,
we're not.
yeah,
But
that's
it's
the
like
thing.
I want to, but I won't do it.
It's like honestly, it's so weird because I think that like a lot of people talk about like becoming securely attached, and like there are a lot of people that have like said like it's, this is one of the hardest types to like heal from, to become secure. But it's like there are a lot of people that have like gotten too secure like attachment, and like so I'm like, it gives me a little bit of hope. And I think everyone's gonna have a little bit of it. If you don't work on it, then like that's your issue. But it's like I think if we're both actively working on it, so like
absolutely. And I think what helps me get to a secure attachment is, am I making an assumption? Because your brain is hardwired to keep you safe. And that's why people fall into the same patterns, because your brain picks up on patterns that you developed in childhood from whatever your parents did.
Yeah.
Your parents did the best they could given the resources that they had, yada, yada, yada. So your brain is hardwired to keep you safe. So if you grew up in chaos or push and pull or a volatile house or screaming and yelling, like you by default will probably move towards that. So for me, I have to tell myself, okay, is this the narrative I'm telling myself to keep myself safe? Am I making an assumption? Am I projecting? Or is this reality? And if you can kind of pull yourself out of the spiral and say, I don't have concrete proof that this is happening, I'm just spiraling because that's all I know. And that's kind of the way I've been hardwired to be. And you can kind of yank that emergency cord and you can get yourself back to a stable state. And you're like, okay, like pull the emergency cord.
Maybe I'm not. Maybe, wait, hold on. You saying that kind of like made me feel like I had an epiphany, because I'm like, what if I'm actually not used to being stable? Well, not I am, like I've been in therapy, whatever. But like the stability of this, because I'm like, I've noticed actions, right? And then immediately I'm like, okay, because you're not communicating, then I'm not going to be like wondering. I'm just going to know that you're not interested. And then that's that. Yeah. Instead of overthinking. Is that, like, I don't know. It's like, I feel like it's more, it's like, it's not, I'm not inferring it onto anything because of like my self-worth,
Yeah. But you're not blaming yourself from someone else's inability to show up. When you stop blaming yourself for the way other people show up in relationships is when you start to be liberated.
That's so true.
Yeah. Because I can't be accountable. I can be accountable for the way that I behave and the way that I show up and my bullshit and the way I treat somebody, but I cannot be accountable for the way somebody else shows up.
Yeah.
I can't. That's not my burden to bear.
Yeah.
That's not my trauma to have. That's not my burden to bear. I can only be accountable for the baggage that I bring to the table. And you can check it into TSA. Don't bring it on the plane.
I'm dead. Don't fucking
don't bring it on the plane. Like unless it's baggage that's needed, unless it's like,
overweight, bitch. Take some shit out.
Take that extra pair of shoes out. Take that extra pair of shoes out.
Right. Like, damn. Because I think it's like kind of the similar thing where it's like people can be a loving person still, but if they can't love you in the way that you need, like they're never going to be able to.
Absolutely.
It's not because they're a bad person. It's literally because the way that they love, it's not compatible with your way.
And that's fine. I am not for everyone. I am not for the general masses. I am
my toxic days. I'm like, I wish I
think I'm for a lot of people in terms of friendship. I think I'm a great friend. I think I'm a great, great, great friend. But when it comes to being someone's intimate partner, I am not for everyone. And I've said this before, and I'll say it time and time again. There are certain types of people don't even like.
There are some people that I just don't say anything though. But here's the thing: like there are some people that are like just not for me, and like. But here's my caveat: I don't waste my time hating on people or like bringing them down, because even if I don't like vibe with your energy or like don't really like you, it's not anything malicious towards you as a person. I just personally don't like you because of nothing you did. I just don't think we're compatible people.
Yeah.
But like I just wouldn't talk like, because that's when you actually like that person, because I'm like, why are you spending this much time like letting them occupy your mind?
Yeah.
Do you get what I mean?
Well, I've found that sometimes I butt heads with people that I'm most similar like.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So it's almost like so all the annoying things that they do.
We kind of butt each other's heads a little.
Sometimes we throw each other in, but like
I mean, but like we never like, but it's never becomes like an issue where it's like I felt like unlovable because you did, but it's like we know it's because we are the same fucking way. Like, do you get what I mean?
Yeah. No, it's like I said, relationships are a mirror to yourself. So that annoying thing that you do, the other person's doing.
Yeah.
So it's like, why are you so annoying? And it's like, bitch, you're also equally annoying. You're doing the same exact thing in a different way. But that's why I love you.
It's with our sleep. We're like, you really need to sleep. Us doesn't.
Doesn't even follow their own advice. Oops. Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I'm glad that I feel like a lot of like the opposites attract type of thing. It doesn't really deal, I feel like, that much with friends, like you said, right?
Yeah.
Because like we wouldn't have been attracted.
No, I've been to so many bachelorette parties. I'm a perpetual bridesmaid. That's just like 27 dresses.
Can't wait.
Is my life.
I like a bachelor party.
And I have been at so many bachelorettes where I could not be more completely opposite than the girls on the trip, but we still have a great time.
Yeah.
Because we share one thing in common, and that's of course the bride.
Yeah.
And we're there for her. But yeah, you will find common ground. I tend to find common ground with most people. There are some exceptions where I just refuse to engage, where I'm like, there's nothing in this world that would make me like you. I'm sorry. There's certain people.
Yeah.
Certain demographics of people.
Yeah.
I just cannot get along with, and I'm not going to say the 4-letter acronym. No, I'm not going to do it.
Any clout.
No, I'm not giving free marketing to that specific demographic of people. But I cannot get along with you on a moral level. Just sorry, can't find common ground. Everybody else, sure, like everybody else, absolutely.
Maybe that's why I can't get along with. Well, that's why maybe I haven't been invited to like some bachelor and bachelorettes, because I feel like if I were to throw one, I would be so insane, like in a good way, but like I can't. I want to throw yours because like you know what I would have on like the banner. I would be like hashtag same dick forever.
Yeah, of course.
Like it would be like so the vibe.
I feel like if I had a bachelorette party and people have said, Emily, you're going to have a crazy one. And then I was, of course, in my lizard brain saying, I'm never going to be married. I don't want one. It's like, no, let your friends show up.
I already thought of a game for your bachelorette.
Which one?
Pin the X on the trash can. Just a face of all your exes, and then we just pin them on a trash can. Isn't that a good idea?
I don't want to give them any more free marketing, though. They don't get any publicity in my day.
Oh, we could blur out their face. It could just be their
bio.
No, who would know their name? I wouldn't know their name. Just put way through it.
Yeah,
why would it?
Everyone. Yeah, my words are probably.
No.
No free.
We're funny to them. Or we could just light them on fire.
I feel like truthfully, I've probably been in upwards of 15 weddings in close to that, like as some member of the party. And I've been to over 20 just with girlfriends and being in a sorority and just my life in general. That if I brought every single person, we would have to have a compound. We would have to have some kind of like Scientology level compound out somewhere because you couldn't house all those people in a hotel. You couldn't have them even in one large, maybe like a big ass mansion.
Your exes?
No, the girls will not my exit. Well, with the rate this is going, maybe by the time I do get married, I'll have a.
You're like, this is
the girls that would come to my bachelorette. If every single woman that I have ever supported came and supported me, and during this time,
he's so.
It would be like there would be like 50 people, and including
different houses.
Oh my God, it would be like different parts of my life. You could see where I was, and some of my friends have kids, some of my friends are married, a majority of my friends are gay men, and then like other people of that community can come too, and I'd probably have drag queens.
Or just have a row of houses. Like this is like the gay bachelorette. Like whatever. It's like.
I would have a lineup of people DJing. It would go all night. It would be literally like
a block bachelorette.
It would be like an EDC, like Emily Daisy Carnival, and it would just
you're gonna have to rent out an entire studio lot.
Yeah, I could never have like a truthful like going away out of town bachelorette because I have too many people. It would be like one actually. Maybe I send everyone to Space Miami and be like, okay, you're doing one bender and I'll send you home. Like I'm gonna have you so fucking tired that you're gonna be like, I need to get on the next flight out of here immediately. I need to like detox. I don't want to touch alcohol for a year. Like I don't want to see anymore. I don't want to see any more gay guys with their butt cheeks out. Like I don't want to
just go on. Oh my God, you should just take them on the gay cruise, the gay Alanis cruise. Oh my God.
No. She took him to a circuit party.
Not even eyebrows. Those things scare the shit out of me. It's like overwhelming. I'm like
a lot of stimulation. There's a lot of things going on at those parties. But can you imagine?
No, I can't. I can't because some of their faces will be gaped. I feel like, especially from the Midwest.
They'd be like their pearls are clutched.
It would literally be like,
Dean. I mean, if you had a bachelor party, what would you have yours be like?
If I even get to that point.
Okay, I say that too. As two single people on this couch kicking.
We'll see.
I expect bottle service at mine, even if it's self-imposed bottle service.
I've like big dream. I'm like, mine is gonna be on like, I'm renting out like an island for like my wedding, and then half the island's gonna be like all my friends, which all their flights are gonna be paid for because I don't.
Okay, Kardashian. That's some Kardashian level.
I don't believe in destination weddings where you don't pay for people's flights because it's like, how can you expect everyone to afford it? Maybe okay if they're rich and like they can pay for it, but like, it's like
that's how you weed out people though. I'm a firm believer in smaller is better. If you can come, you can come. If you can't,
yeah. And it's like, but everything's paid for. But it's like obviously only your closest friends, and so you have to know that part. But it's like I want to have a remote island or somewhere. It's like we fly everyone in, everything's taken care of, everyone gets like their hair did. It could be like a few days before. There's like a mani-pedi like hired, like massages, everything before, and then like there's like a whole like shipment of like in a sailboat from like the Mayflower, like a shipment of like alcohol
of the Mayflower. So you want people in colonial outfits serving you drinks?
No. I'm saying like a joke, like a boat comes like the Mayflower.
He wants pilgrims serving champagne.
No, stop! You're gonna get me canceled. No, I meant like more so.
You can't cancel pilgrims; they're already dead.
No, okay, listen, ho. I meant more so like the boats coming in and like the idea of it was like alcohol just like coming onto shore.
Yeah.
With like bottles, like that's real bottle service. That's real bottle fucking service.
The ocean hand delivered you your bottle of Veuve Clicquot.
It's like that's the only genie in a bottle I need. Because I was telling someone guy the other day. This girl.
What? So for all you listeners out there, if you know an eligible bachelor who can fulfill Dean's fantasies, because it might very well become mine here pretty soon. That sounds like a great one.
It's not a fantasy, it's a manifestation, but also it's like I don't really need anyone else to do it. I know I'll accomplish it. I just don't know when in my life yet.
Well, I'm definitely in the wedding.
Yeah,
I'm in it. Like I
thank God Asian don't raise in because girl,
you're looking good in the sun. You're gonna be looking good when those Mayflower ships come to shore.
With my luck, the fucking boat to the fucking island shit's gonna be the fucking Titanic or some shit.
If I watched a ship sink near the water and I knew that there was champagne on that boat, I would make
the way Jack would have survived.
I would have swimming, snorkeling. I would go down, get me a scuba suit. I'm rescuing all of it. If someone would have said, "Hey, remember the Titanic Voyager that went down and exploded?" If they were like, "Hey, there's a vintage bottle of Dom Perignon in there," I would have went down and saved them myself. I would have been like,
You'd have been like, I'm about to bring up Jack's fucking remain, bitch.
I would have.
That's your type.
To the death and been like, "Give me that bottle."
That's your type. A man that pulls up with the vintage bottle of champagne.
I do. You know what? I do have a very nice, expensive taste in that regard. I find that I like things in sparklers, and I like any pomp and circumstance. If you can, lure me in with a bottle of champagne, you will go far.
I mean, listen, I knew that from the second I met you, but also I knew it even further when we were taking caviar shots off our hands.
Bumps and bubs, babe. I love
caviar, girl. That's the healthiest, thing you could do.
Bumps of caviar in public, along with champagne. I get things that are simple pleasures in my life.
Oh man.
Well, we'll find it. It's out there. We're young. We are fun people, and I know that people like being around us. So just take stock in that. And there's somebody out there that's going to want to fulfill your manifestation in pilgrim fantasy.
Oh, not pilgrim. Say pilgrim fantasy.
He likes the knickers.
Nobody is so mad. Just kidding. No, my anger issues comes out on camera.
Yeah, your veins are popping out. Yeah.
No, but no, because honestly, if you're out there, girl, like we just gotta live our lives, like live so unseriously. Because I was trying to find our type, and we're literally just like wiped. Oh, yeah, rhymes. I'm like, wow. I'm a lyricist.
You are. You are. I love it.
So delusional right now. I literally every time we talk about like our type or like date, I get like.
See, if you just don't have a type, you can never get overwhelmed because you're like, my type is
no one. That was me for a while.
My type is absolutely everyone and no one else.
Girl, I just want love.
Yeah, so.
But from specific people.
Yeah, I don't want love from the people that want me, and no love from people that don't. Yeah, and that's okay. It's we're gonna figure it out. I'm not too stressed about it, and I like the
honestly, I guess.
Yeah.
I just gotta stop. Yeah, it's like that. Did Beyonce sing that song? It's like, I love you like EXO.
Yes, that was Beyonce.
Yeah, anytime I see a red flag, I love you like EXO.
Same. Red flags are green flags, and green flags are red flags. If you're colorblind, like I am, it all starts to mesh together. Sometimes they're pink. They can be a little bit of both. And that's okay. And what I always tell myself too is if you could know the end of the story, and if someone could say, "Hey, do you want to know the ending of your story and who you end up with?" I wouldn't want to know because I'm going to miss the magic in between.
Oh, you're so much more healed.
I'm really not though, because
yeah, I mean that was kind of.
I mean, I spiral out.
Because I will say, bitch, I kind of need to know. I need to be in control.
I think letting go and letting
that's true.
And letting everything fall into place the way it should is.
I'm joking because I know like life is always like like they're like it's not controllable. It's like,
it's not.
But it's like it would be nice for life to show me a little bit of signs.
I saw the sign and it opened.
Isn't it the sun, not the sign?
It's a sign. It's from Ace of Base.
Isn't it? Didn't they say I saw the sign?
No, it's sign. It's Ace of Base. Didn't you've seen Pitch Perfect? It's sign. It's literally called I Saw the Sign. That's in the title, Gene.
I'm dyslexic because I really the whole time everyone was singing it. I was like, I saw the sun. Oh my God, now I feel still.
It's okay. They don't enunciate well, but that's fine. It's a great song, by the way. Ace of Base. Yes.
I'm embarrassed.
You're going to go watch Pitch Perfect tonight.
No, I'm not.
And rectify that wrong.
No, I'm not. I'm not going to. Oh my God. Okay. Well, thanks for tuning into this episode. Hopefully, let us know your type because
yeah, let us know your type.
The various types that people have.
Yeah, I really do want to know people's types
because I feel like it's very different. And maybe we could learn some stuff from y'all because girl, please, we need.
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna speak for myself.
Well, also you can tune in and tell us people you think our type should be. I mean, I'm always a fan of audience
suggestions. Well, studies did show suggestions from friends. You know, I consider y'all my friends. It's a better match because they kind of like
they see things you don't. Yeah.
So I need you to match me too.
Okay, we can work on that. All right. Well,
thanks for tuning in and gagging with us this week, Girly Pop.
I'm Emily.
I'm Zine. You can find us on Instagram and everywhere in the bio. every single platform, YouTube, and leave us a voicemail because we want to hear your voice.
We do.
Okay, our backs are broken, literally.
Literally.
I'll talk to you next week. Mwah. Bye.